He did on their way to the win. They're now 5-1, by the way. Not a lot of people talking about the Heat at 5-1. That was without Jimmy Butler for the first 3 games of the season. It's also their best start in 7 years. There's all kinds of ugliness on the Houston side of the ledger. Shot under 40%. 22 turnovers led to 27 points. 13 of those from Westbrook and Harden. Russell Westbrook was a minus 46 in this game.
Ooh.
In other words, they were outscored by 46 when he was on the floor. Here's Mike D'Antoni.
They just jumped on us, and they jumped on us from the beginning, and they just outran us and out-hustled us and outplayed us. And, after that, the last 3 quarters were what they were. I think they won about 2 or 3, but first quarter they just came out and smacked us, and we just took it.
Coach, is this an example of when a back-to-back can be a good thing to just leave this one here and move on to Memphis tomorrow?
Yeah, if it turns out well, if we get another night like tonight, it's like at a certain point you just got to fight. And we're just, again, a little bit like last year. It's like we're not enough Tiger out there, and we're just not playing as hard as we should be playing, especially on the defensive end. It's just there's no reason for it.
Even before it got out of hand, were you seeing just a lack of energy?
Yeah. And then we try to overdo it. You know how you try to compensate for, lack of energy. So now you start talking and pointing fingers and all that, and it just goes south real quick. And, they played well. They're athletic, and they got great shooters out there. So we had to be on our game. We weren't.
It's a long season, but do you just see Eric just snapping out of it eventually? Or?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't think. Yeah. I mean, there's no reason not to. Yeah, he's done it every time, and started slow last year. So, I mean, it's just more concerned that for everybody, not just him, it's everybody.
How great or how difficult is it to sort of balance not panicking over it, but knowing it's not right?
Well, you can't panic over it because it's not. That doesn't help anything. We will just look at the tape, get back, and we know how to play basketball. We just got to up our intensity and be ready from the get-go and get it. Again, we're not in trouble. But if we think we're not in trouble, then we're in trouble. If that makes sense. You got to have that appropriate fear and understand that it's a new year. We don't start with any games, and we've got to work our way back.
Coach, it's been only 6 games, but how do you feel the chemistry between Harden and Westbrook on court has been so far?
The chemistry's fine. It has nothing to do with how we're playing. Russell didn't have a great game tonight, but that's the first one, and but. It all comes down to we just didn't play as hard as we should, or weren't as aware, or weren't on top of things. We're soft.
Mike, they were up there ball movement. Is that kind of what you're seeing tape when you were watching?
Oh yeah, no, they're playing well. I mean, they're you knew they were going to, and they played well in the exhibition. That we beat them, but they played well. And with Jimmy Butler, and you got shooters around him, and they found Nunn, who's an excellent player. So they're good. They're a very good team.
What about that chemistry between Russell and James gives you confidence that it's going all right so far?
It just is. I mean, I know they'll make it work. I mean, tonight was the first night that, we didn't play well for those 2 guys, but it happens.
Mike D'Antoni's been around the block a few times. He's not going to play all his cards publicly, obviously. What could be going on in his mind right now with a 3-3 start and a defense that is coming in 29th in the league? They may have slipped farther than that after this performance.
Yeah, I mean, you got to tighten up your defense. It's not hard. I mean, you have assistant coaches, and no one on your staff has to look at you and say, Mike, we're having problems defensively.
Exactly.
I mean, you walk in and you say, okay, this is what we got to do. But first of all, you got to quit turning the ball over. If you're giving up 27, 30 points off your turnover, so your offense is leading to their offense.
Right.
When your offense feeds the other team, you're in a world of trouble. You ain't winning any games. And then you got to get back into transition defense. You got to get back to the basics. I think in training camps anymore, Sam, people don't work on a lot of stuff. And you've got to transition defense. You can't put it on a chalkboard and say this is what we're going to do. You got to drill it. You got to drill 4-on-3s. You got to drill 3 defenders, 2 guys trailing. You got to set up all these different situations for guys, because basically in transition defense, it's a scramble. And you just go out of scramble because it's odd man situations, and you just got to work.
Mac, 2 things we practice every day. Transition defense, all right, every day, and pick and roll defense.
Yeah.
Trying to guard it with 3 guys, trying to guard it with 2 guys.
Yep.
That's it. That was our defense. If you can play transition defense and you can play pick and roll defense, you've covered everything. Look, How many times you really got lock and trail in the game? How many Ray Allens there are to chase?
Right.
You got Zach LaVine and guys like that. But guys naturally know they're going to learn how to lock and trail because they don't want to get hit by screens. Or they're going to shoot the gap if the screen is low. But you got to work on, look, I know training camp non-existent anymore. You got 3 days before you start playing games. Take those 3 days and work on the things that you know you're going to see every night. Everybody wants to run, what every coach talks about, pace of play. We want to run faster. We want to get up shots. Transition defense, and then pick and roll defense. If you do that every day and get better at that, you can win basketball games.
And it's simple to say, but it's hard to. Don't throw the ball to the other team, because I'm telling you right now, you don't have to be all that tricky.
Well, if I got to tell you that.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I said, but you
I don't think you need to be a coach to tell people that.
You know what? You cannot feed the other team right now. And again, you're just going to see here.
Look at them jogging.
There's 5 guys at half court. Look at everybody's there. Nobody is sprinting back down. And what do you end up getting? Wide open jumper.
Look at them. Look at them all standing. Nobody's sprinting. Look at them right now. Look at him on transition defense.
Who's getting back?
Look at PJ, and I'm surprised. PJ Tucker pointing, you better run.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody runs, so what do? You have to follow the guy. Puts Westbrook in a terrible position.
And here it's just, look, you're switching, you're not fighting. You go for a steal that you can't get. And, Mac, you know this. Teams that lead the league in steals are some of the worst teams defensively there are.
I can tell you about steals. When then you shoot the ball into the guy's hand, that's not good. Then you just come in and end up giving a wide open 3. And look at the 5th guy's not even in the picture right now. So something happens. The 5th guy, I don't know who the 5th guy was on the floor, but when you're coaching and you see a team come down, guy drive, throw it to corner, and shoot a 3, and your 5th defender is not even in the picture, there's no excuse for that.
This is the tough part. When your star players are the ones, when you watch that film as a team, as the coaching staff watch it, and you watch it as a team, if your star players are the main culprits, are the ones that are not getting back and not playing defense and not communicate, there go the problem. What do you do? Because the only way you're going to get everybody to play D is hold everyone accountable. And the only way you can do that in the NBA is cut guys' minutes. Let me tell you what a smart coach does. So you know what, guys? It's my fault. We must be practicing too hard. Something's going on because we're not getting back in defense. So guess what I'm going to do?
Not playing hard enough during the game.
I'm going to cut your minutes. You must be tired. So instead of playing 38 minutes a game, I'm going to cut your minutes to 30. I promise you, when they look at them stats and they played 30 minutes, they used to playing 30, and they went from 22 shots to 16 shots, they'll start playing defense then because guess what? That stat sheet don't lie.
And then you look at Miami, and they play defense. Miami's got a bunch of grinders. They got a bunch of guys that can shoot the ball. They got a bunch of guys that just play hard. And I tell you what, I didn't know what to expect of the kid. The hero kid, he takes a few shots that would make me as a coach go, "What are you doing, son?" But I tell you what, he plays hard. Those guys go out there and they get after it. So you got to give Miami credit for being just kind of that's a Spoelstra type team. Deion Waiters isn't with the team right now. They got rid of Whiteside. I think they kind of ventured into some ground that Pat Riley wasn't happy with. Pat came back. I think Pat
came back to Pat Riley. Eric Spoelstra finally has a team the last couple of years that fits his personality. Tough defensively, because everything with Miami starts on the defensive end. I think their practice, the first 2 days, they probably don't even shoot the ball. It's all D. And if you start that way, most coaches will tell you this. Mac will tell you, I really don't care what you do offensively, unless you move. As long as you move the ball and take good shots. It don't matter what we run. I don't care who shoots the ball. As long as you give me an effort on defense and rebound, we can live with the offense. But if you play D and rebound, we're going to win a lot of games.
And move the ball on the offensive end, play tough defense, you're going to get some wins.
All right, and the Heat have those. They're 5-1 after a 29-point win tonight over the Houston Rockets.